Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Success. Friends, in this video let's see few questions from UGC NET December 2019 question paper on microeconomics. First question is, arrange in chronological order the following economists in relation to their contribution to the theory of consumer behavior. Choose the correct answer. Theory of consumer behavior. There are several approaches given by different economists towards theory of consumer behavior. Among the approaches, the first approach is given by Alfred Marshall. His approach is called Marshallian approach or cardinal approach. Second one, J.R. Hicks and R.G.D. Allen. Their approach is called Hickesian approach or ordinal approach. Then the third approach is given by Paul A. Samuelson. His approach is called revealed preference theory. The next approach is given by R. Stone. His approach is called linear expenditure system. So the chronological order is Marshall, J.R. Hicks, R.G.D. Allen, Paul Samuelson and R. Stone. Fourth option is the correct option. Here I have given the period of these economists. Alfred Marshall 1842 to 1924, J.R. Hicks 1904 to 1989, R.G.D. Allen 1906 to 1983, Paul A. Samuelson 1915 to 2009, John Richard Nicholas Stone 1913 to 1991. Second question, which of the following is not an example of market failure? Four options are given: monopolies, asymmetric information, economies of scale and externalities. To identify the correct option, first of all we must know what is market failure. Market failure is the inefficient distribution of goods and services in the free market. That is a state of disequilibrium in the market. First option is monopolies. In a free market, there is an efficient way to distribute goods and services, while in a monopoly market, there is inefficient distribution, because in monopoly market, there is a single seller and he has the control over the whole market. This leads to market failure. The second option is asymmetric information. This is a situation where there is imperfect knowledge of the market situation. That is, it occurs where one producer or consumer has given a different information to another one. It leads to market failure. Then third option, economies of scale. Economies of scale, it refers to the cost advantage experienced by a firm when it increases its level of output. Economies of scale arises due to the inverse relationship between per unit cost and the quantity produced. So this is an advantage to the producing unit. It will not lead to market failure. Fourth option is externalities. Externalities is a cost or benefit that arise from the production or consumption of a good or service. If externalities occur, there is a disequilibrium between the producer and the consumer. This also leads to market failure. So here economies of scale is not an example of market failure. Other three situations leads to market failure. So the correct option is economies of scale, third option. Third question, among normal cost curves, which one of the following curve does not have a minimum point? Average cost, marginal cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost. Here the average cost curve, the marginal cost curve and average variable cost curves are U-shaped. So they have a minimum point. But the average fixed cost curve is downward sloping curve. The shape of the average fixed cost curve is rectangular hyperbola. So it does not have a minimum point. So the fourth one is correct option, average fixed cost. Fourth question, arrange in chronological order the following contributions of economist in theory of consumer. Choose the correct answer. This question is same as the first question. Approaches towards theory of consumer behavior. So here the second option is correct option. First one is cardinal theory, then ordinal theory, then revealed preference theory, then linear expenditure system. Fifth question. Which amongst the following market form leads to most efficient allocation of resources? Monopolistic competition, monopoly, oligopoly, perfect competition. Here, monopolistic competition, monopoly and oligopoly are market structures with imperfect competition. Their main aim is to maximize their profit. But in perfect competition, the main features are allocative efficiency and productive efficiency. First, resources are allocated to their best alternative use. Then, they provide the maximum satisfaction attainable by society. So, here perfect competition is the correct answer. They leads to most efficient allocation of resources. Sixth question. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reason R. Assertion: CES production function covers large class of production functions. Reason: CES production function has the property of constancy of elasticity of factor substitution. Here CES production function means constant elasticity of substitution production function. This production function is developed by four economists: Arrow, Chenery, Minhas and Solow. This CES production function has several properties. One of the properties is constant elasticity of factor substitution. So here the assertion and the reason both are correct and R is the reason is the correct explanation of A. So option 1 is the correct answer. Both A and R are true and R is correct explanation of A. Seventh question. For a Cobb-Douglas production function, Q is equal to 100, L raised to 0.7, K raised to 0.3. Which of the following is not true? Four options are given. We have to find the incorrect option. So here Cobb-Douglas production function is given by Paul H. Douglas and C.W. Cobb. The production function is in the form of Q is equal to A K raised to alpha into L raised to beta. Here Q is output, K is capital, L is labor, A, alpha and beta are positive constants. So here four options are given. It is linear homogeneous function. So the property of Cobb-Douglas production function is it is a linear homogeneous function. So it is true. Then second one, it is characterized by constant returns to scale. To find the returns to scale in this production function, we have to add the value of the exponents. Here alpha and beta has two values. Alpha is 0.3, beta is 0.7. When we add these two values, we get 1. So if we get the value as 1, it is constant returns to scale. If the value is greater than 1, then it is increasing returns to scale. If it is less than 1, then it is decreasing returns to scale. So here the second option is correct. It is characterized by constant returns to scale. Then the other two options regarding elasticity of factor substitution. Here in this Cobb-Douglas production function, the elasticity of factor substitution is 1. So the fourth option is correct. It is characterized by unit elasticity of substitution. Third option, it is having zero elasticity of factor substitution is not correct. So here the option is 3. The question is which of the following is not true? So the option is third option. Eighth question. The compensation criterion, which says that state A is socially preferable to state B if those who gain from the change can compensate the losers and yet end up with surplus welfare gain, is attributed to Pareto, Kaldor, Saitowsky, Bergson. Here, this is the concept of N. Kaldor. According to Kaldor, if a certain change in economic organization or policy makes some people better off and others worse off, then that change will increase social welfare if those who gain from the change could compensate the losers and still be better off than before. So this is the concept of N. Kaldor. Second option is correct one. Ninth question, match list A and list B and choose the correct answer from the code given below. So here, quasi-rent, this concept is given by A. Marshall. Planned sales curve is given by F. Chamberlain. Monopoly power, A.P. Lerner. Strong ordering of preference is given by P.A. Samuelson. Thank you, friends. Please subscribe for more updates.